Hey guys, welcome back. Scott here with a new beer dissection video. I have a new beer from a brewery that I never had a beer from before. This is from, I'm sure I'll have it over my shoulder, Empire Brewing Company, called their Black Magic. Okay, you can kind of see it there. It is their Irish coffee stout. It is aged in whiskey barrel blended. Pretty cool looking can. It looks like there's like a shamrock and some other stuff. Sometimes I do the flyby videos or the spinning videos. I don't know if I'll do one on this particular video, but pretty nice looking can. A lot of these are very artsy fartsy these days. This one says, sorry, I started reading it right before I hit record on the button there. Dark, rich, malty, blended with coffee and beer aged in whiskey barrels. Empire Brewing Company in New York. I'm in New York. I don't know exactly their location. Ellicottville, New York, and Little Valley, New York. So upstate. All right, so pretty cool looking can with that leprechaun guy in front of a gold bin or something like that. So the Irish coffee stout, whiskey barrel blended, brewed and packaged in New York State at 7%. All right, so I definitely have never had this beer, and I have not had one, even though I live in New York, I never had a beer from this brewing company. So this will be a first all around. All right, so let's crack this bad boy open. I just got my typical Take-Two glass, and let's take a look at it. Okay. Pretty hefty. They advertised, I looked at real quick on the website. It is being advertised an Irish stout, at least as per Beer Advocate. When you start whiskey barrel aging it, I don't know if it falls out of Irish stout territory. Because when you think of Irish stout, you think of what? Guinness Irish stout. And you think of, say, Murphy's Irish stout, nitrogenated and things like that. This says nothing about being nitrogenated, but that doesn't matter. A lot of times I prefer the carbon dioxide anyway. So let's pour this out. Okay. If it is an Irish stout, we're looking for something dry, but I don't want to talk too much because I've never had this before, and maybe it could be mislabeled too. So let's take a look at this. All right, got a nice, inch and a half of, as I'm sitting here, I'm getting whiffs of whiskey right now when I opened up the can. So about an inch and a half of a light beige, light brown head. Looks pretty nice, well supported. Good frothing on top, almost like, you're dealing with espresso. And, we're looking at a dark brown to, I'll just say dark brown. It's not quite black. If someone wanted to say it was black, I'm sorry, I got some nucleation points. I thought I had a completely beer clean glass, but maybe not. But dark brown to, if someone wants to argue black, I won't argue with you. But to me, it's looking more like a dark brown color. All right, but looks pretty nice. All right, let's take a sniff the aroma. Oh, yeah. So what I get, even though they say they use coffee, I get the whiskey right off the top. On a longer sniff, that's where the chocolate's coming in. Very nice, though. Chocolate roast. You kind of get ashy, kind of like that fireplace ashy kind of aroma. But no doubt there's that whiskey character to it. And, a little bit of that oak aromatics, woodsy. Maybe even a little bit of like a kind of dark fruit on the nose, like kind of like a rum raisin type of thing, or muddled fig or something like that on the nose. But whiskey, roast, I get a little coffee, but I get more chocolate. But really nice, regardless of what adjective you want to put towards it or descriptor you want to put towards it. Losing the head though already, but that could have been my glass here. I thought I had a perfectly beer clean glass. So even though my glasses are all clean, sometimes if I don't get one hand washed perfectly, sometimes we'll start losing it. So that could be from the glass itself. But anyway, guys, cheers. Let's take a swig of this. Wow, it's pretty highly carbonated. Got to get a little bit of a carbonic bite there on the front end. Chocolate up front. Now I'm getting a little more coffee, kind of like a medium roast coffee. I'm getting some like the tannins, like puckering. I don't know if it's from the wood character, the barrel aged character, because sometimes you will get like a charring effect, woods, tannin effect from the woods. I even get like on the aftertaste, I'm even getting a little bit of like a vanilla character. That's probably from the whiskey barrels. But there is a subtle whiskey alcoholic bite that you kind of get. I'm even getting some warmth here as I'm consuming it, but not really like solventy, like some of the like Goose Island, the famous Goose Island Bourbon County Stout, which again is at 20% or something like that, or some other bourbon aged barrels. Sometimes it's a little bit too over the top and just kind of almost astringent and really, sometimes I even think noxious. This is actually drinking pretty nice. You do get I should say the body on this, I'm going to say it's definitely medium to full bodied, but it's not as chewy as say like a sweet stout with the lactose and things like that, or as chewy as say like even a North Coast Old Rasputin Imperial Stout. It's got a good amount of body, but it's not like sludge like, or kind of real full bodied. It's kind of medium to medium full, and with the carbonic bite there, it kind of seems to, my perception almost kind of thins it out a little bit. On the aftertaste though, you're kind of left with chocolate, which is very pleasant, subtle coffee, and there is that oaky whiskey-like character, barrel-aged character that you get with it. I think I'm getting some tannins maybe from the wood. There was some vanilla on the aftertaste too. Like I said, not really astringency unless I'm kind of getting that tannin bite from the oak, but it's very subdued. It's not, slapping you in the face with the oak and the solventy nature sometimes of something that's way too high in alcoholic strength, like the Goose Island Bourbon County Stout. This is definitely not drinking like an Irish Stout to me, though. It definitely has more body. You drink Guinness Irish Stout, it's actually quite thin. If you close your eyes and don't look at it while you're drinking it, you get that creaminess from the nitrogen, but it's actually quite thin type of beer. And that comes in usually around 4.3. This has got more body to it. And I am getting some warmth, so it definitely has more body than a Guinness. So I wouldn't necessarily call this an Irish Stout. It's probably, at 7%, it's not quite Imperial Stout territory, but we're getting up there. Just call it like kind of an American, barrel-aged stout, which I'm sure that's probably what they're marketing it as. But nice chocolate character, almost like you got brownie batter, cookie batter, chocolate cookie batter. On the nose again, I'm going back to it because I do get that whiskey on the nose. That's when I had cracked open the can. You kind of get some of those aromatics that it is not a typical stout. So there's that kind of whiskey character nose that if you've ever opened up just a simple Johnny Walker, all right? Again, chocolate. I even almost get like there's some residual sweetness there. Almost like you've got like chocolate covered, raspberries or something like that, because there's a little bit of a fruitiness from the residual sweetness. Not really much hop character to it all, which you wouldn't expect in something like this. Or I wouldn't be anticipating it, like any type of herbal floral character to it. It is kind of, the bitterness is kind of moderate, the pronounced, probably good to offset some of the sweetness and the perceived sweetness with something that's got, chocolate and coffee used to it. But it's not like roasty like an espresso roast, okay? But I mean, I shouldn't say it's not roasty. There is some roast character to it. I'm sure they're using some black patent malt, roasted barley, things like that. But it's not like a deep, like espresso coffee roast. It's actually quite mild in that sense, but definitely full of chocolate, some dark fruit character, plum, fig, raisin kind of like character to it. And again, a little residual sweetness that's quite nice to this. Very nice. It's just want to get the aftertaste one more time. Not real strong on the oak. I mean, you do get that whiskey, that oak character, and a little bit, and probably even subtle vanilla. If I have a second can of this, I'll probably analyze it even more. But really nice, guys. You know, a good showing for the first time I've had beer from this brewing company. So anyway, from Empire, Black Magic, Irish Coffee Stout, whiskey barreled. Okay, I got to give it a good, you know, I'll give it a good A. I mean, A minus. You know, compared to, I enjoy this more than a lot of the bourbon aged ones, bourbon barreled ones that kind of get a little bit too over the top. This is drinking quite nice, and it was a little more economical than, you know, Goose Island's bourbon barreled stout. So this is kind of be a nice little intro into those that are like really over the top beers. But I won't go down too much of a wormhole with that. So we'll just say A minus. But very enjoyable. And I hate using minus sometimes because it gives you a negative connotation of the beer. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this can. But hopefully you got a little information about this. Not real strong on the, if you like stouts, it's got that roast, it's got coffee, it's got chocolate, it's got a little bit of that whiskey and that oak character, but not over the top like a lot of the other commercial beers out there that feel like you're gnawing on oak and you're getting hit like you're drinking a shot, like a Boilermaker, like a shot of bourbon with it. This has a nice subtle whiskey character, oak, vanilla, again, not overdone coffee, chocolate notes, medium full-bodied, nice carbonic bite to thin it out a little bit. So I would definitely recommend it. I'm really going to enjoy the rest of this. So anyway, guys, today was Beer Dissection, was Empire Brewing Company, Black Magic, Irish Coffee Stout, Whiskey Barrel Blended, product of New York, which is where I live, and I would recommend it. But again, even besides my recommendation, hopefully get a little idea about the beer if you happen to see it in your local store. All right, guys, the next beer video, beer dissection video, whatever I may do, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.